beautiful morning out in the sun it was, shooting that introduction. But welcome to the channel's first official product review. So today we're going to be discussing the Oannes Predator rod. And I've had this for about at least 4 months, I'd say. Full disclosure before I get started though, I purchased this rod with my own money. It's not sponsored. I haven't been paid to say any of this. I basically purchased the rod off Tony from Ultimate Drone Fishing and said to him I'd be happy to do a review for it. And here we are. Since owning the rod, I've done quite a few drops with it, and usual story, caught no decent fish, really worth showing, but that doesn't mean I haven't caught nothing with it. So over the last couple months, especially recently on a trip down south, we got into a heap of spinner sharks, heaps of bronzies, some eagle rays, all that sort of stuff. Little bronzy on Predator Oannes. Nothing really worth bragging about, but good solid specimens to load up the rod, give it some punishment and see what it was capable of. Really happy with the rod though. It's nice and light, it's compact, 3-piece, fits in the car, fits in all the spaces I've put it. I got a rod tube off Tony for it to go in just for that added security. Yeah, it's great. It's nice and light in the hand. Has this amazing blue colour to it. Absolutely love the colour scheme of the rod. Even behind the first 2 guides on the blank, it's got this really awesome graphic of a shark. And I would dare say that it's a great white shark, if anything. Nevertheless, it's an awesome looking piece of graphic. And I've never seen rods that have had graphic behind the guides like that. So it's just a very nice, subtle little touch. Probably what's worth mentioning, what I like most about this rod in particular, is the tip structure. So the tip is really solid. All the times I hooked up to big fish, I was able to really crank the drag, lean into it, and actually have the power through the rod to pull the head of the fish around into the direction I want it to. So the 2 times where I had these 2 sharks that were heading out to a reef, I was able to cut my spool with my hand, lean back and lean the rod over to one side and really pause the fish, and then he had no choice but to really turn around and go the way I wanted him, which is really nice feature. And that's something you want to look out for if you're dropping your baits a couple 100 meters off the beach. You want to have that power, that torque, that strength through the rod to be able to control your fish, especially if it's going out for a reef. If you're dropping near reef structure or any sort of structure, and you know you've wound in a few times and you've got bust off, you've got snagged, all that sort of thing, you know out there that there's stuff that's going to get you caught. As soon as you hook that fish, you just want to crank it in, and you want to have that control to direct it where you want it to an extent, obviously. This rod does it all. So I've just had an idea. Here's something completely unplanned. I'm going to ring my work colleague who I went fishing with a couple nights ago. First time drone fishing for him, and first time using the Predator. He doesn't know I'm calling, so this will be interesting to see how it all goes. I hope he picks up. I'll get his feedback on what he thought about the rod. Shh, don't say anything. Paddy. Hello.
Tim.
Hey, how you going, man?
What's happening?
Hey, I won't hold you too long because I'm just recording this review for this rod. The other night when you used it, give me your feedback, give me your thoughts.
Which one? The blue one?
Yeah, the Oannes Predator.
I don't know.
You don't know? Did you like it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
There's nothing I didn't really like about it because I haven't used it enough to tell you anything I don't like about it. But
First impressions?
I suppose it's just like how probably it's a stiffer rod.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, when you were reeling it in, you know, like my rod I have, the tip is very thin, so it gets a real severe bend on it whenever you're bringing it in.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're like reeling it in and trying to get the sinker set.
Yeah.
But this one, it didn't, like, you felt when the sinker set, you didn't have to reel hard or anything like that. My one, you don't know where the sweet point is with the sinker being set, or where you're going to pull it out of the ground again, you know?
Yeah, okay.
But no, I liked it. I probably, if I had my reel on the other hand, or the reel on the left hand. Oh
yeah, because you're using the right-handed side. You're
yeah,
lefty.
But
yeah.
I liked probably Oh, one of the good things about it is when you were pulling the line in, and you'd you'd stop reeling and then just pull on the rod and then start reeling again.
Yeah.
There was a bit of flex in it, so that whenever you pulled on it, the rod straightened out. It was still pulling the line in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand. It had the power to straighten up and pull the weed in rather than you having to do all the work.
My back,
it sort of took the load off you and put it through the blank.
Yeah, because I've pulled weed in with you before, and that was,
I know.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I'll cut you there just because I don't want this conversation to be too long. I'll call you back later.
All right, man.
All right, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. See ya. Bye. There you go. I better ring him and get his permission to put his voice on YouTube. But yeah, very happy, as I said. My final review on the Predator. Good and bad. Let's look at the good first. I like the fact that it comes in a 3-piece. Super convenient, easy to pack, especially for someone like myself who's traveling around for work quite a lot. It's convenient to be able to put this thing into almost any space, whereas my other 12-foot and larger rods that are 2-piece, you're looking at 6 to 7 foot each piece, and it's really impractical to put it in the car anywhere. This rod in particular, each section is about 1.1 meters or roughly 44 inches. Nice and compact, like I said. It's nice and light. It's very strong. I believe it's also a hybrid, so you can use it for overhead or for spinning. I've used mine for spinning mainly because I have a nice reel that I prefer to use. It's 10 foot, and I think I've overlooked the fact that the length of the rod's quite important. So a lot of the rods I've used in the past have been 12 foot or larger, and they're fine. I use them more for surf casting and all that beach fishing, but when you hook up to something big or after a full day of retrieving baits, it does start to wear out your back a bit. So you will feel it. With the 10 footer, it's a lot smaller, less strain on your back, so win-win. One of the things that put me off buying one of the original Oannes rods when they come out was the fact that the reel seat was just a little bit too high for my liking on the bottom section. Now that Tony's had a bit more feedback, he's revised where that sits and he's brought it a lot lower on the bottom section, which is great. For me personally, I would like it a little bit lower just because I'm used to having super low mounted reels, like all my Assassin rods and the custom rods that I've built. They're all very low to the gimbal, which allows me to just feel a bit more comfortable. I don't have to have my arms up extended periods of time, winding in, retrieving my line, all that sort of thing. So the fact that Tony's got another revision coming and he's going to have a lower reel seat is a big plus for me. I'll definitely be getting one of them. Also around the top section of the rod where this grip is, there's no foam. Not a big deal. I just noticed after using it for extended periods of time, especially on the sharks, after the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th shark, I found I was starting to get a bit of forearm fatigue just because the size of the rod is quite small, so your fist is closed a lot more than something with foam that keeps it a lot more open, so my forearm wore out a lot sooner than I'd like. And like I said, it wasn't a big problem. I overcome it pretty quickly. Just swap arms, shake it off, give it a little bit of rest, come back to it, go for it. So even though I don't like the fact that the rod just has heat shrink for the grip, I have spoken to Tony and he has assured me that his next revision of rods is definitely going to include an EVA grip, which I'm really looking forward to. So I really love using this rod. It's been fantastic. The fact that it's compact, it's strong as hell, light as hell, big wins in my book. So I'll leave a link down in the description that'll take you straight to Ultimate Drone Fishing website where you can place an order to purchase one of these rods. You won't be disappointed. You're in good hands with Tony. He's an absolute legend. Really good customer service. Really look after you. And yeah, that about wraps it up for this review. So guys, stay tuned. I've got more reviews coming, but until then, stay safe, tight lines and dry drones. See you next time.